Hello students, today I take a lecture on field effect transistors. My name is Professor Ketan Kelad. Okay, so without wasting time, we start the lecture. Okay, so field effect transistors. So first of all, what is field effect transistor? So it is one kind of transistor like a BJT, okay, bipolar junction transistor, and I assume that before this FET you already understand about the BJT bipolar junction transistor. So FET is like a BJT, but why it is called field effect transistor? Because the output current of this transistor, output current of transistor FET is controlled by the input voltage. So it means the voltage applied at the input. So the electric field which we apply at the input is control the output current, right? So that's why it is called field effect transistor. So as the discussion is going on, after some working and principle, your idea will be clear. Okay, so the types of FET, there are two types of FET. It is a junction field effect transistor JFET and metal oxide field effect transistor MOSFET. So first we discuss the JFET, its working principle, characteristics and biasing methods, and then we discuss the MOSFET. So in this lecture we discuss only about the JFET, and the next lecture we discuss about the MOSFET. Okay, so first of all the construction of JFET. So the JFET consists of a p-type or n-type silicon bar containing two p-n junction as you see in the figure. Okay, the figure. So if the bar is of n-type, it is called n-channel JFET as you see in the left side figure, n-channel JFET. The main bar is the n-type semiconductor material, so it is called n-channel JFET. And if the bar is p types, it is called p channel JFET as in the right side figure. So in both the figure, the two p-n junctions forming diodes are connected internally, and a common terminal called gate is taken out. Okay, so the other terminals are source and drain taken out for the bar. So in the JFET has also a three terminal drain, gate and source. Okay, like the BJT has three terminal, base, emitter and collector. Okay, so here in JFET there are three terminal, gate, drain and source. Okay, so in this figure, in both the figure you see that the PN create a depletion layer. In PN type there are, okay, so it is like a diode, so create a depletion layer, and in between this P material it creates a channel. So through this channel the current is flowing from drain to source. Okay, so here in n channel JFET your channel is n type, so that's why it is called n channel JFET, and in P channel JFET the channel is p type, so that's why it is called p channel JFET. Okay, now the principle and working of the JFET. So here we discuss only about the n channel JFET, and you easily understand about the p channel JFET. Okay, so first of all okay, in the principle, the two p-n junction at the side form two depletion layer as we discussed above. The current conduction by the charge carrier. So here our charge carrier is electrons, free electrons, because in the n types material there are more numbers of free electrons. So the current conduction by the charge carriers is through the channel between the two depletion layer and out of the drain. Okay, so your electron is travel from source to drain, and so that's why your current is travel from drain to source. Okay, so the width and hence the resistance of the channel can be controlled by changing the input voltage VGS. Okay, so here we provide the gate to source voltage, so it is VGS. So here we provide the reverse bias voltage. Okay, because to control the depletion layer at the gate, we have to provide at the reverse bias. We do not provide the positive supply to the between the gate to source voltage. Okay, we have to always provide the reverse bias at the gate to source voltage, and your drain terminal is connected to positive voltage and positive terminal, and the source is connected to negative. So that's why your electron is flowing from source to drain, and we get the current from drain to source. Okay, so the greater the reverse voltage VGS, the wider will be the depletion layer and narrower will be the conducting channel. The narrower channel means greater resistance, and hence the source to drain electron decreases. So it will decrease the drain to source current. Reverse will also happen if the VGS decreases. Thus, the JFET operates on the principle that width and hence resistance of the conducting channel can be varied by changing the reverse voltage VGS. Okay, so that's why it is also called FET. So VGS, it is a electric field. So by applying the VGS, we control the channel width, or indirectly we control the flowing of the current in the JFET. Right. So this is about the principle. Now next, the working. So here we working of the JFET divided into two parts. First we consider VGS equal to 0, and then our VGS is less than 0. Okay, so first case, so VGS equal to 0. Okay, when a voltage VDS, drain to source voltage, is applied between drain and source terminal, and voltage on the gate is 0, the two PN junctions at the sides of the bar establish depletion layers. The electrons will flow from source to drain through a channel between the depletion layer. The size of this layer determines the width of the channel and hence the current conduction through the bar. Okay. Okay, next, the VGS is less than 0. So when a reverse voltage VGS is applied between the gate and the source, the width of the depletion layer is increased. So this reduces the width of the conducting channel, thereby increasing the resistance of the n-type bar. So the current from drain to source is decreased. On the other hand, if the reverse voltage on the gate is decreased, the width of the depletion layer also decreases. This increases the width of the conducting channel, and hence source to drain current the drain to source current is increases. So this is the working. Okay, now the symbols of N channel JFET and P channel JFET, right? So 3 terminal drain, gate and source, and the arrow is at the gate terminal, and it is inner side in N channel JFET, and in P channel it is outer side. Okay, so it is little bit different symbols with compared to BJT. Okay, now the characteristics. So there are two characteristics, output and input characteristics. So output characteristics is called drain characteristics, and input characteristics is called as transfer characteristics. Okay, so first we discuss the drain characteristics. Okay, so in the left side there is a circuit for the drain characteristics. So the battery VDD is connected to drain, between drain to source. Okay, and the gate to source terminal is shorted, so it means your VGS gate to source voltage is 0. Okay. Okay, now first what will happen when gate to source voltage is 0, and if we increase our VDD, drain to source voltage. Okay, so as in the right side there is the characteristics of drain characteristics when VGS equal to 0. Okay, so VGS equal to 0 and we start increasing the drain to source voltage VDD. If we increase the VDD, so indirectly your VDS is increased. So we increase the VDS. So your drain current is increased linearly as you see in the figure. So when your drain current, your VDS is reach up to a certain voltage, after that it is your drain current is constant. Okay. So this voltage is called pinch off voltage. So it is the minimum drain source voltage at which your drain current essentially become constant. So as you saw in the drain curve, pinch off voltage is Vp, the highest curve is at the VGS equal to 0. Okay, so when your PDS is reached up to the pinch off voltage, your drain current become constant. So this constant current is called IDSS. It is a shorted gate drain current. So it is a drain current with source shorted circuited to gate and the drain voltage equal to pinch off voltage. It is also called the zero bias current. Okay, so when VGS equal to 0, your IDSS is the maximum current flowing from the JFET drain to source. So this is clearly showing the characteristic. Okay, when VDS is increased beyond Vp, the depletion layer expand at the top of the channel. The channel now acts as a current limiter and holds drain current constant at the IDSS. When the drain voltage equals pinch off voltage Vp, the channel becomes narrow and depletion layer almost touch each other. Okay, the depletion layer at the drain side is almost touch each other. So the channel now acts as a current limiter and holds drain current at a constant value of IDSS. So that's why the constant current is flowing after the pinch off voltage. So this is the graph or characteristic at VGS equal to 0. Now if we further increase the we increase the VGS negative side, suppose the VGS is equal to -1, so your depletion layer is increased, depletion layer at the gate is increased, right, and it will decrease the channel width, so your maximum current drain current is decreased. Okay, as you see in the figure, the maximum drain current is decreased. So okay, further we increase the VGS at negative side, suppose VGS equal to -2, again your depletion layer is increased and your channel width is also decreased. Okay, so your maximum drain current, see in this figure, if we further increase the VDS above the VDS maximum, your transistor JFET may break down. Okay, now if your VGS, we increase the further VGS in negative side at equal to pinch off voltage, right, so your channel is totally blocked and your drain current is completely 0. Okay, so this is about the drain characteristics. Now the transfer characteristics. As the reverse gate source voltage is increased, the cross-sectional area of the channel decreases. Resistance decreases the drain current. At some reverse gate source voltage, the depletion layer extends completely across the channel. In this condition, the channel is cut off and the drain current reduces to 0. So the drain voltage, the gate voltage at which the channel is cut off is called gate source cutoff voltage. So as you see in this figure, okay, so at VGS equal to 0, our maximum drain current is IDSS, and further we decrease the gate to source voltage, your drain current is decreases because the channel width is decreases, and at VGS off, your channel is completely blocked, your depletion layer is expand and touch each other. So your channel is completely blocked, so you are at VGS off, your drain current is 0. So it is clearly mentioned in the transfer characteristics. Okay. Now, till now we discussed about the working principle and construction and characteristics. Now we discuss the parameters of the GFET. Okay, so there are here we discuss the three parameters. Okay, first is AC drain resistance. So what is AC drain resistance? It is the ratio of change in drain source voltage delta VDS to change in drain current delta ID at constant gate source voltage. Okay, so your RD it is equal to delta VDS upon delta ID at constant VGS. So this is we can find in the drain characteristics. Okay, transconductance. So it is the ratio of change in drain current to change in gate to source voltage at constant drain source voltage. So transconductor is denoted by G small g. It is equal to delta ID upon delta VGS at constant VDS. So this transconductance we can find from the transfer characteristics. Okay, third parameter is amplification factor and it is denoted by mu. So it is the ratio of change in drain source voltage to the change in gate source voltage at constant drain current. So your mu it is equal to delta VDS upon delta VGS at constant ID. Okay, so this is about the parameters of GFET, three parameters: drain resistance, transconductance and amplification factor. Okay, now we elaborate one relation or we find one relation among these parameters. Okay, so as we know that amplification factor mu it is equal to delta VDS upon delta VGS. So mu is equal to delta VDS upon delta VGS and we multiply it with delta ID upon delta ID. So there is nothing difference. So your amplification factor is same because delta ID upon delta ID cancel each other. Okay, so we take one delta ID and put under the delta VDS and the second delta ID and we put the delta VGS under delta ID. So we get delta VDS upon delta ID into delta ID upon delta VGS. Okay, so delta VDS upon delta ID it is equal to RD and delta ID upon delta VGS it is equal to G transconductance. So we get the relation mu amplification factor it is equal to RD into G AC drain resistance into transconductance. Okay, so this is the relation between these parameters. Okay, now next we discuss about the GFET biasing. So what is the meaning of biasing? So if we want to use the GFET, we have to choose the operating point. So we have to choose the drain current and value of drain current and drain to source voltage. So it can set the operating point of the transistor. Okay, so for that we require the biasing, proper biasing technique. So in the GFET biasing there are three biasing methods: gate bias, self bias and voltage divider bias. So first we discuss the gate bias. Okay, so what is it is why the in gate bias? So as you see in the figure, we provide the supply at the gate, okay, VGG minus VGG, so that's why it's called gate bias. So in this method, so minus VGG is ensure that the gate to source junction remains reverse bias, because we know that the gate to source junction is always reverse bias. So this minus VGG ensures that. Okay, and there is no further resistor, only resistor RG, so there is no voltage drop. So your VGG it is directly equal to VGS. It means your VGS is equal to VGG. Okay, and we can find the drain current by this formula. Your ID drain current it is equal to IDSS and in bracket 1 minus VGS upon VGS of square. Okay, now we have to further find the VDS. So in the output side, what is the output loop? It is VDD, then your RD, resistor RD and VDS. Okay, so we get this formula by the Kirchhoff voltage law at VDD equal to IDRD plus VDS. So we get the VDS, it is equal to VDD minus IDRD. So thus the DC values of ID and VDS stand determined. So the operating point for the circuit is VDS and ID. So from this value ID and VDS we can find the operating point. Okay. Now the next is self bias. So why it is called self bias? Because as you can see in the figure, there is no voltage, provide the voltage at the gate terminal. Okay, but with compared to the gate bias, so here one more resistor RS at the source terminal. So what is the purpose of this resistor RS? It is called bias resistor. Why it is called bias resistor? Because the DC component of the drain current flowing through the RS produces the desired bias voltage. Okay, and this voltage is given to the gate to source terminal. Okay, so voltage across resistor RS, suppose it is Vs, it is equal to IDRS. Okay, since gate current is negligibly small, the gate terminal is at DC ground, so Vg equal to 0. Okay, so your Vgs is equal to Vg minus Vs, so your Vg is equal to 0. So Vs is equal to IDRS, so Vgs equal to minus IDRS. So indirectly your gate to source junction is reverse bias, right? So thus bias voltage Vgs keeps get negative. Okay, so the operating point can be easily determined since the parameters of JFET are usually known. Your drain current is equal to IDSS 1 minus VGS upon VGS of square, and we can get the VDS, it is equal to VDD minus ID in bracket RD plus RS. So we can decide the operating point of the transistor. Okay, and last technique of JFET biasing is voltage divider bias. Okay, so it is similar like to BJT. So at the input side there is a two resistor R1 and R2, so it will create a voltage divider network. So whatever the voltage drop across the resistor R2, it is used as a gate to source voltage. Okay, so how we can find the voltage drop across resistor R2? By the voltage divider rule. So Vt it is equal to Vg, it is equal to VDD by R1 plus R2 into R2. Okay, so Vt, so your V2 it is equal to VDD upon R1 plus R2 into R2. Okay, now in the input section there is one input loop, V2 voltage across resistor R2, then VGS voltage between gate to source, voltage drop across gate to source, and the resistor RS. Okay, so your V2 it is equal to VGS plus IDRS, and so VGS is equal to V2 minus IDRS, and from this equation we can also find the drain current, it is equal to V2 minus VGS by RS. Okay, and the VDS same as for the self bias, it is equal to VDD minus ID bracket RD plus RS. Okay, so we get the ID and VDS, so we can find the operating point of the JFET. Okay, so this is all about the biasing technique. So in this lecture we discussed the construction, working principle, symbol, characteristics, and the biasing technique. So this is all about the JFET. So in the next lecture we discuss about the MOSFET. Thank you.